So the truth about COVID-19 is when it comes to money, a lot of people are spending less of it. Some people have been laid off, their partners have been laid off, they're seeing less money in their business, or they just have less income to spend altogether, or maybe they're just being a little bit tight with their money. Now, with that being true for some people, I want to preface that it's not all people. With that true, how do we adjust our pricing structure during this time? Do we seriously discount our services, or maybe we should just offer everything for free? And I'm going to be talking all about that in this video. I am so glad you tuned in, and if you are a health coach or some other type of online coach, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Just hit that button and then hit that little bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video on Thursdays. So I hear you, I totally hear you. When shit hit the fan with COVID-19, I was really concerned too. I had a lot of questions, I had a lot of fears, and I really didn't know what was going on or what it was going to mean for my business. Now, in the past couple months since this whole thing started, I've actually managed to stay on track with my business. I've continued generating sales, and I actually haven't seen a dip in my income. So with that being true, I actually have made a few adjustments in my pricing structure, and let's get into it. Let's talk about that and get all your questions answered. So the first thing I want to talk about is, should you offer your stuff for free? And the short answer is no. You do not want to be offering your stuff for free. And even though you might feel like, oh my God, everyone is struggling, I can totally feel the pain of everyone and people aren't going to want to buy, that's actually not true. Just know that yes, some people are struggling financially, but not everyone. And if you have an online business like me, what's really great about that is you have a global market. So there are lots of people in this world who are seeing their businesses thrive, or maybe they're essential workers. So they have lots of work and they're not going to see a dip in their work. So we need to keep that in mind. And as much as you might want to offer your paid stuff for free, I wouldn't do that, because that actually devalues it. And what I can tell you is when people don't pay for something, they are generally not very committed to actually doing the work and finishing the program. I've seen this time and time again, so I encourage you not to offer your paid stuff for free. But that being said, there's nothing wrong with creating a free offer for your audience if there is something you can create that can help them right now. So this is actually a really great time to build your audience. What I've noticed is that my audience, especially on Instagram, is growing really quickly, probably because people are online, they're at home. A lot of people have these stay-at-home orders and they are spending a lot of time on the internet. So suddenly you have their attention. So this makes it a really great opportunity for list building. So if you want to create a free offer for your audience to get those people off of social media onto your email list, this is a great time to do it. That being said, it's always a great time to be doing that, but this time, what can you create for your audience that maybe they specifically need right now that you weren't offering before? And of course, when you give them that free thing, you collect their email address, and then you can start building more relationships with them on your email list. The next question you're probably asking is, should I greatly discount my services? And the short answer again is no. So there's nothing wrong with offering a little bit of a discount, that's fine, but you don't want to greatly discount what you're offering, again, because it devalues it. And you also don't want to reduce the amount of money you are getting paid for something like a one-on-one program. So I'm a big proponent of just never really discounting your one-on-one program, because you get a lot of value with that. They get a lot of access to you. They get a lot of one-on-one coaching. They get a lot of resources. Your private clients are really the ones that get the biggest results. So that is actually not something that I believe that you should be discounting. Now, that being said, there's nothing wrong with creating another type of offer that might be a little bit of a more affordable price point, but I don't actually think you should be greatly discounting your private coaching program. But if you do want to offer something like a course or group program, something that maybe offers similar value to that of your one-on-one program, but again, at a lower price point. Okay, so I want to hear from you. Have you adjusted your pricing since the beginning of coronavirus? If so, give me a yup. just a YUP, yup, in the comments below and let me know. Okay, so we've talked about not giving your stuff away for free and of course not greatly discounting your services, but let's talk about how you can maybe pivot your pricing in order to accommodate your audience right now. Okay, so the first thing you can do is small discounts, okay? So no great discounts, no big discounts, but there's nothing wrong with offering a little bit of a small discount. Again, I don't really recommend doing that in a private coaching program, but if you have a course or some sort of digital product or group program, then there's nothing wrong with adding a little bit of a discount. Now, that being said, I would make sure to add some sort of urgency to it. So you don't want it to always be available, but maybe you tell them, hey, I'm offering my group program on promo for the next 2 weeks, and then it's gonna go away. So you do wanna give them a little bit of pressure to ask, because if that promo is just available forever, it doesn't really give people enough pressure to actually take the jump and invest in your program. Now, that brings me to the second thing I want to talk about is some sort of fast acting bonus. So a fast acting bonus is something that I do believe needs to be included anytime you launch something. Basically, it's just a bonus that gives people a discount when they act quickly. So it depends, but generally a fast acting bonus might be 1 day, it might be 24 hours, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, something like that. It's basically incentive for people to act quickly. Now, I know we just talked about that before, but if you are in the period of launching something like a course or a group program, then offering a really juicy fast acting bonus is not a bad thing. Now, another thing I've seen people do is offer a fast acting bonus on a sales call for something like a group program or even a private program. Again, I'm not a super big fan of discounting your private program, but what I've seen some people do, and it's definitely worked on me, is they offer you some sort of discount if you take action on the call. So you might tell your person who you're on the sales call with that, people who always are the most committed and take the fastest action, they always get the best results. And what I'm concerned about is my students getting results. So if you are ready to sign up now, then I'm gonna take $500 off the cost of the program. If you tell me tomorrow or the next day, it's going to be this whatever price. You can definitely do that. Now, I would only do that if that feels right for you, but it's definitely something that's worked with me. It wasn't that long ago that I was on a sales call for a group program, and it was a $1,000 off fast acting bonus. I was already really interested in the program. Generally, I don't like to make decisions on sales calls. I always want to take a little bit of time, but in that case, I knew I wanted it and I couldn't resist, so I signed up on the call. So that's something you can consider as well. The third thing you can offer is a payment plan. Now, you may already have payment plans for your programs, but if you don't, it might be a good time to offer one, or you might want to offer one that maybe is a little bit longer, that requires a little bit less payment. Now, again, this is a private coaching program. I don't recommend having a payment plan that really goes beyond the length of the program. So what I mean by that, if you have a 3-month program, I probably wouldn't have a 6-month payment plan. Now, again, that's gonna be up to you, but it is a little bit risky. So you just wanna keep that in mind. And now I've actually seen this with a few companies that I purchase clothes from. So I'm a big fan of Knix, that's Knix. They sell really awesome underwear. So if you're a woman and you're in Canada, because I think they're Canadian, they make really, really amazing, comfortable underwear. Now, when I bought the other day, I was basically restocking my entire underwear drawer, and I spent about $250. And what I noticed is there was an option to pay $60 a month with no interest. So I thought that was really cool. Now, I didn't need to use that, but for somebody, that's actually a really good deal, because maybe they know they're gonna be back to work soon, or they know they're gonna have money again in the near future, but maybe they just don't have it right now. So you can do something like that and just offer a little bit of a longer or lower priced payment plan. Okay, so the fourth thing you can do is, this will make sense if you have some sort of recurring revenue program like a membership. So say you're launching a membership, maybe it's monthly. What you can actually do is give people incentive to purchase multiple months in advance. So maybe it is, we'll just pretend it's $50 a month, and if they buy 6 months up front, you're gonna give it to them for $400 instead of $600. So they're actually going to save $200 in the long run, and it's a huge savings, and it also gives people incentive to commit for a longer time period. And generally the people who buy sort of the 6 months or year up front, they are going to be a little bit more committed because they gave away a little bit more money in order to participate and invest in the program. Okay, so the fifth thing you can do is to offer a free trial. Now, again, this only makes sense if you have a membership style program, but this is actually something that I did for my HTMA Masters program, which was actually launching when all this craziness went down. And, I was like, what should I do? Should I discount it? And at the time, I was actually considering raising the price of the program. And I decided, because it literally was when all this went down. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep the price the same. But what I did do was I offered everybody a free month into the membership, because I didn't want people to not get a taste of the membership because they were worried about their finances. So instead I was like, hey, I'm gonna let you all in for a month, take advantage of the content, binge all the master classes, have fun, interact with the community. And then, if at the end of the month you're not feeling it, or you're still feeling stressed about your finances, you simply can cancel and you will have gotten that month for free. And I felt really good offering this, because the truth is I really do believe in this program. I think it's a really great program. I think all the members really love it. So I just didn't want people not to get to experience that because they were worried about money. Now, there's also a strategy to this, right? Because the hope is that they're gonna come into the program, realize how amazing the community is, how much support we offer our members, and how much benefit they are actually getting out of it, and hopefully they will choose to stay. So that is actually something that you can do as well if you have a membership style program. Okay, so the final thing I want to talk about is, if you have something like a group program, is maybe you would consider breaking it up into 2 parts and selling it in 2 parts. So I actually had a woman message me on Instagram the other day, and this is kind of the situation she was in. She had surveyed her list, and most of them had said, it just feels like a lot of money right now. Now, I can't remember the price point of her program, but I believe it was maybe like in the $2,000 range or something along those lines. And it was maybe a 12-week program, a 12-week group program or something like that. And so she was really worried. And what I suggested to her, I was like, well, can you break it up into 2 parts and just sell the first part at a bit of a lower price point, and then with the hope that maybe they'll want to upgrade into the second half of the program. Because again, if you get people in, if you can get people into a program, repeat customers is just a much better strategy than always having to find new people. And if you can get them in and you can impress them because what you have is probably awesome, then you are gonna have a way higher likelihood of getting them in versus going out there and finding new people. All right, so if you like this video and you like these tips from me, and I hope you do, make sure to join my email community, because I send out really bomber, super entertaining. I try to make you laugh as I teach you, and I do that every single Tuesday at 8 a.m. Pacific. So if you want to join my email community, you can grab the link just below this video. And I hope you like this video. If you like it, make sure to give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and maybe share it with your fellow coaches who you believe it might be helpful for. Okay, so go pivot your pricing if you feel like it might be a good move for you, and make sure to comment on this video and let me know how it goes. And I hope you have a great day.